Welcome back. I'm going to talk a little bit about using some advanced editing techniques with our new on-demand layout editing tool. And I'm going to pick one of the postcards that we've set up, one of the open house postcards. So we can demonstrate some techniques like modifying background colors, moving and rotating text, adding random images, linking to your Instagram account, getting high resolution maps onto your postcards, adding QR codes, basically all the stuff, all the cool stuff you can do with the new layout editor. So let's jump in. I'm going to select the orange open house design that we have. And this shade of orange might not be to everybody's tastes or everybody's color schemes, and that's fine. And obviously the font Helvetica Neue is fairly plain, so you can customize it. And the images that you use can be customized, and we can even add images that weren't intended for this design. So let's take a look at that. First thing, let's change the color. I'm going to click on the banner rectangle, and I'm going to go up to the toolbar at the top and pull out the bucket tool and just change it to a completely different color. So that looks a little bit nicer to my eyes. And the other thing I'm going to do is maybe take down the transparency just a smidge so we can see some of the image that is going to be uploaded come through. The other thing is now with this dark background, the dark text that says open house could probably be changed. So I'm going to make it a white text. And I'm going to customize the date and time. So I'm going to say May 26th. Oops. And the time 2 p.m. to 8, let's say 4 p.m. Okay, so we've gone a little bit too close to the clip line here, and I'm going to fix that by just grabbing one of the resize handlers and shrinking the size down. We're 19.7 points here. I'm just going to make that a nice 20 odd points even, and now I can change the location information text to match that. So I'm going to modify this and enter an address, 94 Scarsdale, Toronto. Okay. So if you move these, slide these text boxes around, you can manipulate this to your heart's content. You can change the font. If you don't like Helvetica Neue, perhaps you're a Gill Sans fan, or you like your serif fonts like Georgia, or maybe you want stencil for a bit more impact, or tungsten. It's kind of a narrow font that we can actually expand the size of while maintaining its boldness. I think I like that. Let's change this to tungsten as well, and we'll expand this out and make it both semi-bold. Okay. Now if you don't like the diagonal of the banner rectangle, you can also modify that. So whenever you click on something, there's this little bubble pin thing that appears at the top. You can modify the rotation angle of any object by spinning this around. So I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. So all my text is now lined up with a simple side-to-side horizontal bar. Let's upload a new image. I'm going to choose one of my high-res images. Let's take this bungalow image and put it in there. And it's a little crooked, so I'm going to click on the Edit button here and scale it down just a smidge so that I can see the Rotate tool. I'm going to rotate it just a bit. There we go. Whoops. A little bit more. And then I'm going to resize it so that it comes back up above the clip lines. And then I click the checkbox. Now it's telling me the image resolution is too low for the print size. This is because I scaled it a little bit, and if it was fine when you first uploaded it, and resizing it a little bit brings up the image resolution too low warning. This is a very strict warning, so we've gone slightly below 300 dots per inch. But if you're not resizing, doing a massive resize of the image, you should be okay. You can go down to 240 or 200 pixels per inch, and your pictures should still come out fairly good. Now I'm going to add an inset image. So let's say this is the garden image in the background. You can just drag any image you want around on the layout wherever you want it. You can even add a border. So I'm going to add a white 2-point border, make it a 3-point, to this inset image, and I'm going to move it over here. So you can add as many photos as you like. In fact, you can add small photos from your Instagram account. So you just have to log in. You'll be presented with a pop-up menu that'll ask you for your name and password, and don't worry, we don't use that. And you can look at all your pictures. You can see I take a lot of pictures of my dogs. Maybe you probably have pictures of listing images. So let's take another image at random, this one here. We can drop that in the top corner, resize it a little bit so we get rid of the resolution too low warning, and I will add another 2-point border to that so we have 2 images inset. Sorry, let's make that 3-point to match. On the back side, what we have is more information, which we can customize. So I'll, again, change this to 94 Scarsdale. In the York Mills and Leslie area. And now it's going to ask me to click to upload a map. Now maps can be tricky because you want high-res images, and if you take a screenshot of Google Map, it's not really going to do the trick. So I'm going to show you how to get high-res Google Maps that you can use in your content. The trick is to go to Google Maps and log in to the My Maps section of Google Maps. It's going to prompt you to create a new map. And all you need to do is locate your address. And you can leave the markers in there if you like, but I don't like the markers, and we supply you with the marker that you can use. So you can actually just delete that. Center the map wherever you want it to be. Zoom in to the place on the map where you figure is the correct place to be, to show the level of detail that you want. There we go. And now the trick is to pull down the map menu from the very top and click on the print map link. It'll ask you what size you want. So I'm going to choose tabloid size. This is 11 by 17. This will give me a landscape orientation. It'll create a huge image, which will be extremely useful for us for print purposes. So here's our image. Now it prompts me to print. I'm just going to cancel out of this. I'm going to right-click on this image and save image as. Windows users, you have a similar functionality in Windows where you can right-click on images that are in this window and download them to your computer somewhere. So I'm going to call this 94 Scarsdale map. Then I'm going to go back to the OnDemand editor, and I'm going to click on the upload link. I'm going to click my upload files button. It's going to situate me in my folder, the last folder I was in this case. Here's the map that I chose. Here it is uploading. So I'm going to insert that into this box, and I'm going to use the crop modify tool here to resize it to put it into the neighborhood that I want it to be in. There we go. Now, if you can't get the crop quite right, you can always take the image that you've uploaded and edit it. So editing allows us to take this unwieldy, tall image and sort of make it a little bit more about the size that we want to use in our tool. So here is my edited map. So I'm going to drop that in. And now, when I click to reposition it, it gives me more of the area that I wanted it to be in. So let's see, Scarsdale Road, there we are. Now we give you the map marker. That's this little icon. You can drag that around. This is a font glyph, so you can resize it and it will re-render to nice dimensions and it'll print perfectly. So that takes us to the last thing that I'm going to show you, which is how to add a QR code to your postcard. Up at the top in the row of buttons where we can add whatever we like to the canvas, I'm just going to choose QR code. There's a couple of different ones if you just want to post a URL so that when somebody scans it with their phone, it takes them directly to the website address. You can use this phone number, very simple, or if you want to include your business card QR code, what happens is when someone scans this, it will add your contact information to their address book in their Android or iPhone contacts. So there we go. When I insert this, it generates a high resolution QR code, which can be resized and placed wherever you like. That concludes our session on advanced techniques. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about this stuff, you can reach me at pfabris@marketconnections.com, and I'll be happy to give you some more tips.